Hi, this is Glenda. This is just a little card share today. Most of the cards I make are encouragement cards to be used in our church. And as a thank you, somebody put in the box an envelope of card fronts that are mostly Christmas cards, I guess with the idea that I use them up. I don't recycle cards, that's so not something I do. So rather than ignore this gift, I thought, okay, it's a challenge, I'm going to use it. So I have turned these Christmas cards into encouragement cards. I think all bar one of them were Christmas cards. Now I have to say, they'd gone to the trouble of cutting them apart, having them just as card fronts and packaging them up for me. So I really didn't want to ignore a gift. So it's a challenge, and I thought, well, this is going to stretch me out of what I normally do, because it's not something I normally do. So I thought I'd share what I've done, and I don't know how useful it's going to be, but it's just what I've been doing. So this is what's left of this card. It had the big silver swirls and everything on it. So I've cut an art. Oh, this is going to strobe on me. I don't know if that helps. At least it's not strobing. Now I've got a shadow from something. I'm just not sure what. Okay. Please excuse my filming. I cut this Art Deco piece out, and I also stamped on the card and cut that out of the square there. And I cut a couple of little bows with my new Tim Holtz bow punch. And there's a simple card that's no longer a Christmas card. So the next one I did was this one. And it's got a couple of bits of cards in it. The bird cage, I cut it out of this Christmas tree, and the birds and the stand out of the green part. This piece in the back was just a panel on its own. I don't know if it's ever been a card, but I embossed it and I toned down the white by putting tea dye ink over it. And this was the edge of a card, like it had that border on each side of it, so I cut that off and used it as a border. And there's another one. This one has several cards and this random bookmark that was included. So I thought, well, I've kind of got to leave it as a bookmark. So, let's see. The swirly piece here, this had this nice piece at the top that was sort of the star, but once you cut a swirl out of it, you can't see that it was a star anymore. So then this circle, this was this panel and it had this sort of pattern in it, so I thought I'll roll with that and cut out a similar pattern, and then I cut the circle a bit smaller, so I had this ring, so that's using two cards. Moving on to this one, it was sort of a big 5x7 card, and it was such a subtle picture, so I cut off all the words and everything and cut it down, and I added a new sentiment on it and put some trim and a flower, and that was it. This one was the one that wasn't a Christmas card, but the background is a Christmas card. Underneath there is a Christmas tree. I turned it on its side and cut this as a mat for this other piece that I cut, like that was a much bigger card, so I cut off all the extra, and hopefully it looks more like a cut out picture than a reused card. That's where I'm going with it. And I added some little stars as well. The next one I did was this one. Now this was again just a little panel that had already been cut off something. This was the centre of the card, and although it was a Christmas card, I thought for a church one it's fine anyway. It's love comes to us in many ways, but none more beautiful than the gift of Jesus, and that applies all year round. So I just mounted the two together, so we've got two cards redone as a new card. And I think this is the last one that I haven't done. This was a lovely bird in the middle, and of course it was a Christmas bird. The swirls I cut out of this. It had a nice blue background, so I cut the swirls out. So again, there's two cards combined into a completely new card. So I'm not about to start making lots of recycled cards. It was a challenge, and I think I rose to the challenge, and out of that I got 7 cards, and filled my morning up. Morning and a little bit by the time I thought about it all. I didn't stress over things that were too obviously Christmas, that were never going to be easily turned into something else. I think I've done justice to what I was given. And so if you end up with some random supply that's totally out of your comfort zone, use it as a challenge and see if you can come up with something different that you wouldn't normally do. So anyway, thank you for watching.